Well, this is the time of year where you see baby animals, and yes, you might want to help them out or keep them as a pet, but don't. Joining us today with the Ohio Division of Wildlife Communication Specialist, Abby DiTomasi, and thanks for coming today.
Thanks for having me, Holly.
Okay, let's just put it out there to begin with. Don't touch the animals. More than likely, it's okay. They're not orphaned.
Right. Yes, exactly. So when it comes to wildlife, you know, the mating season, we talked about it last month with skunks, but wildlife are going to be having a mating season starting now all the way through November. And if you're seeing wildlife come into your backyard, there's a really good chance that those moms are already going to see your backyard as a great place to lay their animals. And that's usually intentional because a lot of wildlife mothers are actually single moms. They're going out there, they have to find food for them and maybe multiple young. And so sometimes the best choice for them is actually to leave them to go look for food and then to come back and pick up that animal later. And that's the case especially with those baby deer or fawn that we see. That's a really common one that is just found laying in someone's backyard. And it may not seem like a great option for us when we look at it, but the thing is they're born with spots. We all have seen Bambi, so we know what they look like. That's to help with camouflage in those tall grasses. And then also they're born scentless. So they rarely are leaving them there in the hopes that predators can't find them, even though it's obvious to us. And if we go and we touch them and we disturb them, you actually may be attracting predators to that spot at that point. So it's best to leave them be, especially in the case with fawns, unless you see the mother is for sure hit on the road or injured. Then that is when you would want to call, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So
another one that I think of because they bury into the grass, they love your yard, is baby rabbits.
Yeah.
Just leave them alone too.
Same with them too. And baby rabbits, yeah, I've come across them just because I was trying to get the leaves out of my flower bed, and I raked it up and I saw baby rabbits in my flower bed. And you know, I quickly just showed my son just a view of it, and then I covered it back up, and I knew that the mom would come back and find it. And the next day they were gone. Now, I have had the case where people will say, I just really don't know that the mom's around. In those cases, you can put sticks over the nest in a little tic-tac-toe pattern. That way you know that the nest has been disturbed, and you know that that mom has come back to take care of those young. And a lot of times with baby bunnies, it's not even that they're just found. Unfortunately, it's animals have gone, or animals have gone and taken them from their nest. So maybe a dog is literally, or a cat has literally brought a baby bunny at this point. If you cannot find the nest, the best thing you can still do is assume that it was found on your property. Maybe put them in a bucket, like that's sideways, like a 5-gallon bucket. So they're kind of protected, and then the mom can still have access to them when she comes back, and she will come and get them and take them to another nest. That's the other thing. My bunnies were gone the next day, so that probably means that the mom came and was like, oh, someone found my nest. I gotta get it. I get it. Yeah, so don't believe the myth that an animal, if you touch them, that the mom's not gonna come back to them, because that is a myth, probably to keep people from touching them, but it keeps people from wanting to help them a little bit further and taking them and getting them to their mom, which is their best chance for survival. Yeah.
The other one that comes to my mind quick is like we get birds' nests in the yards, and we always think the bird is hurt. Just leave the baby birds alone too? Yeah,
and now with baby birds, it's a little different. If you can look and see that there is no feathers on the bird, you think those little helpless ones that are just sitting there, barely eyes are open, that case, it has fallen out of its nest, and there's probably a nest right above. If you can find that nest and put them back in the nest, that is the best thing for them. Again, that your scent, birds don't have a good sense of smell. They're not they're gonna come back and take care of that baby. If it's a bird that has fallen and it has feathers, that's a fledgling, and that's actually natural. That means that bird is trying to learn to fly. It's trying to get the hang of it. So if you see it on the ground and it's stumbling around and stuff, it may not be injured. It's just trying to figure out flying. So if you're really concerned at that point, you can try to shelter them away. In all these cases, when you see them, try to keep dogs and pets and other kids away from that area. If you can, just leave it be for 24 hours and then see from there what to do. Same with squirrels, same with baby raccoons, similar situations. And they all have little nuances, but that's where I would say getting to our website is the best option. We have details on every single animal there that you can look up. And then
we're done. Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
Go to that website, though, because it did have a lot of information. Abby, thanks for coming today.
Thank you so much.
All right, don't go away. We'll wrap things up after this.
Yeah.